Thank you very much for joining us in today. We truly appreciate everyone who's been able to join. I actually have Mr. Gideon Madahana, who's joined us right on time. So, tutapambana na hii hali. So, without further ado, my name is Firefighter Jose Njoke Ngunjiri. I serve with Africa Fire Mission, and I'm their fire safety advocate. My main job is to go to the community and to teach and instruct on best ways to put out different kinds of fires. And then number two, to distribute the fire brigade numbers. So why we distribute the fire brigade number is because people complain that firefighters come in very late. But in essence, you find that we, the community members, do not have the fire brigade number. So, therefore, even as I start my lesson today, I will issue you with the fire brigade number, and then we shall jump in to learning the use of portable fire extinguishers. All right. So, for Nairobi, though I will post for all other regions because we have other regions, we are represented in the whole of Kenya, but allow me to give you for Nairobi, and then the rest of the other numbers, I will push on the WhatsApp group. So for Nairobi, number is 020 22 22 181. All right. 020 22 22 181. When you call, please make sure you tell them where the fire is. Don't just say there is fire, but then you don't tell them where the fire is. Please make sure you give them the fire location. For example, you can say there is fire. And because now I serve in Mathare, you can say there is fire in Mathare area 2, and then you can give a landmark. Area 2 near the Oil Libya petrol station. Yes, something like that. So make sure that you give the exact place so that the firefighters can come in the shortest time possible. So today's lesson, we're going to learn the use of portable fire extinguishers. So fire extinguishers, where do you find them? You find them in buildings, and they're in red cans, mostly like in Kenya. You find that they're in red color and they're hung on the wall. And these fire extinguishers, they look the same, but in essence, they actually have a different extinguishing agent inside. Yeah. So that is one thing that we should all be aware of. Let me go to the next slide. There are standards that verify portable fire extinguishers. Yeah. They're required throughout healthcare, ambulatory healthcare, detention, correctional centers, and business occupancies. This is one law that is supposed to be adhered to by everyone who hosts people in their facility. Yeah, from a shop to a hospital facility, even to cars and a business occupants. You should always have a fire extinguisher. It is provided to be used by employees. Yeah, people really confuse it. Yeah, this is not for just city council or the county council or the county government. Yeah, they are supposed to be used by the employees or the occupants of that premise. Yeah, for example, if it is in your home area, you're living in an apartment, it is supposed to be by you. It is supposed to be visually inspected monthly by the safety officer or whoever, what do we call it? Maybe, for example, like caretaker of a building. They're supposed to check it all the time. In Kenya, we actually do after every 6 months, the inspection after every 6 months. Yeah, but in other countries, we do it after 1 year. And by the way, you should retain the record of the same. Now, fire extinguishers are meant for small fires, or rather incipient fires, or usually what I usually break it down, I call it a baby fire, yeah, when the fire has just started. A fire extinguisher is not supposed to be used on big fires. Reason being is that it might not extinguish the fire itself when it is on its very high level. Fire extinguisher have limits. Yeah, you might find a 9 kilo dry powder extinguisher will actually last for a few minutes before the agent is extinguished inside. Yeah, that's why we say we're supposed to have it on incipient stages just to kill the fire before it grows. Now, one other thing that you need to notice is where the fire extinguisher is located. The fire extinguishers are not stored under the table or in the cupboard or a place that cannot be seen. You'll find when you go to buildings, the fire extinguishers are put on the corridors. Reason being, they're supposed to be easily accessed, yeah, in the shortest time possible. All right. That's a very important point to note. And also, you need to have the proper extinguishing agent, which we hope we shall be able to cover in this topic, in this lesson today. You remember the pass word that I will actually cover. And also we shall hope to cover grease and oil fires. In order to have fire, there must be 3 elements. And which are these? We have to have fuel, that is something which will burn. We have to have heat, enough to make the fuel burn. And we have to have oxygen, that is the air. When you eliminate one, there will be no fire. So when you asked what is fire, you should say according to these 3 elements. Yeah, it's actually called the triangle of fire. So give me a minute, let me move. It's called the triangle fire. Okay, let's move to the next slide, please. Sorry, bear with me, and as I move to the next slide. Sometimes technology can let us down. Okay. As you can see, that is a triangle of fire. Fuel, heat, and oxygen, it creates fire. So all 3 elements must be present at the same time to have a fire. When you eliminate one element, it actually extinguishes the fire. That one I mentioned. Fire will burn until one of the elements will not be there. Okay, will be removed. Then the fire itself will go out. I'm going to the next slide. So when you eliminate heat, in this particular case, when you eliminate heat, fuel and oxygen will be there and the fire will be extinguished. There are some, okay. As I said, fire extinguishers have limits. Portable fire extinguishers are not designed to fight large fire or spreading fires. These spreading fires include the bush fires, or for example, in a gas station, yeah, the oil gets to spread all over, okay? Even against small fires, they are useful only under certain conditions. The operator must know how to use the extinguisher. The extinguisher must be within easy reach, in working order, and fully charged. The operator must have a clear escape route when dealing with fires, not to be blocked by fire. All right. That means when you are dealing with fires, you have to know your exit. Yeah. The extinguisher must match the type of fire being fought. Yeah. Extinguishers containing water are suitable for use on grease or electrical fires. The extinguisher must be large enough to put out the fire. Many portable extinguishers discharge that agent directly to the fire itself, and they discharge completely in a very few minutes, in few actually seconds, 8 to 10 seconds. So you have to be very precise when you are handling these fire extinguishers. Let me go to the next slide. Now, fire extinguishers have to be located near exits. They are set in specific heights from the ground. They should never be obstructed and accessible. So never obstruct access to a fire extinguisher. This means don't put jackets or things that cover the fire extinguishers. Be knowledgeable of the location and type of fire extinguisher in your area. Yeah, this is an example of a designated emergency exit and where the fire extinguisher is located. Yeah. So there are different types. These are the parts of the fire extinguisher. As you can see, we have the nozzle where you get to point onto the fire, and then you have the instructions on how to use the fire extinguisher, and then you have the lever. The lever is where you hold on to the fire extinguisher for you to give the agent that is stored inside. Yeah. As you can see, a well-serviced fire extinguisher has to have a seal. As you can see over there, there's a seal. This shows that the extinguisher is serviced and ready to be used. Yeah. So you remember the pass instructions, what it's supposed to do. Pass is, letter P stands from, you pull the ring, yeah, or the pin, and then you aim at the base of the fire. All right. People get to use these extinguishers by actually hitting the top of the fire. The fire itself is right at the base of the fire, so don't hit at the top of the fire, but at the base. Yeah, you aim at the base of the fire. All right. When the fire extinguisher is on its upright position, please note that. And then squeeze the lever. You remember the lever on the previous slide? You squeeze it. As you aim, pull straight the nozzle at the base of the fire, and then you sweep from side to side, from left to right. You sweep. All right. You sweep the nozzle. Now, there are different types there are classes of fire. Yeah. What I was showing you previously was an overview of what the lesson entails. But now there are different kinds. Now we are entering into the deep end. where we get to know the classes of fire. So we have class A type of fire. These are ordinary combustibles. What does it mean? We have things like wood, cloth, and paper. Yeah, those are the classes of fire. All right, on class A, fire. Let's go to the next slide. We have class B types of fire. Yeah, class B types of fire, we have flammable liquids such as gasoline, oil, oil-based paint, and more like it. On the class B fire extinguisher, you'll find a label that is a different kind of label. We'll get into that. We have class C. Class C type of fire, it's energized electrical fires, which of course, energized electrical fires, that's really direct. We have equipment including wiring, fuse boxes, circuit breakers, machinery, and appliances, anything on class C fire. And then we have class D fire, which are now the combustible metals such as magnesium, sodium, lithium, and all those other types of metals that we were taught when we were in school. Yeah, so there are different kinds of fire extinguishers. So class A types of fire, you'll find that they have a green band. Yeah, they have a green what do we call it, color. And then class B, we have red color, and then class C, we have blue. All right, blue color. These are stuck onto the fire extinguisher. The whole fire extinguisher is red. Like in Kenya, the fire extinguisher is red. There are some other countries you find the fire extinguisher is black, and even others white or silver. Yeah, but in Kenya we have red. Yeah, so on the red you'll find on class C there is blue color. We have a new type of fire extinguisher that was introduced. That is the class K, the wet chemical agent. For kitchen cooking oil fires, these class K agents are for kitchen cooking oil fires. Dry chemical was useless or added to fire. Depending on the extent intended use, portable extinguishers store specific extinguishing agents which are expelled onto the fire. Yeah, which include, these agents are water, carbon dioxide, dry chemical, ammonium sulfate, sodium bicarbonate, and potassium bicarbonate. Yeah, and those are the agents that you find inside the fire extinguisher. We have pressurized water models. They are appropriate for use on class A fires only. Yeah, this must never be used on electrical or flammable liquid fires. When you apply a liquid fire, a pressurized, water, what happens? It will blow up. It will convert into steam. Yes, and you'll find that when you add oil into water, not oil, sorry, you add water, water into oil, it converts itself into steam, and steam really gets to burn out everything in the house. Yeah, we have carbon dioxide extinguishers. It contains pressurized liquid carbon dioxide, which turns to a gas when expelled. These models are rated for use on class B and C fires, but can also be used on class A fires. Carbon dioxide does not leave a residue. When you use carbon dioxide onto, maybe for example, putting out kitchen fire, you can continue, you can go ahead and eat your food, yeah? But if you use dry powder on your kitchen fire, that's it for your food, yeah? That's it for your food. Excuse me. We have dry chemical extinguishers. They are either stored pressure models or cartridge operated models. The stored pressure models have a lever above the handle for operation. The cartridge operated models require 2 steps. Depress the cartridge lever and then squeeze the nozzle at the end of the hose. The dry chemical leave a residue that must be cleaned up after use. We have ammonium sulfate, phosphate, sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate, urea potassium bicarbonate, and potassium chloride. All this, you can go and research more on Google, because we might not be having so much time to actually go through to it. We also have foam. These are they coat the surface of a burning flammable liquid with a chemical foam. When using a foam extinguisher, blanket the entire surface of the liquid to exclude the air. They can also be used in the kitchen, but please note that when you use it on food, you cannot have to eat. You not have to eat it again. Yeah. And if you can remember, allow me to mention this, when we had the Sanjanguan fire where the oil tanker fell, they actually used foam. People thought maybe it was Omo, or it was soap, but it's actually foam. All right. So as I said, please get to note, it is not complicated to use a fire extinguisher. All you just need to do is to access the fire extinguisher that you see. You pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. You pull. What do you pull? You pull the pin from the nozzle, not the nozzle, I'm sorry, from the where it holds, yeah? And then you aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. Then you squeeze, yes? You squeeze, and then you sweep. As you squeeze, just don't squeeze, you sweep, all right? You sweep. Let me see if there are people who are waiting. No, there's nobody waiting in the waiting room, so we can continue. Pull the pin. This unlocks the operating lever and allows you to discharge the extinguisher. Some extinguishers may have other lever release mechanism. Yeah, so you pull the pin. There are so many people who say, oh, this extinguisher is not working. Yeah, but on checking, you actually did not get to pull the pin. And then you aim the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire. Yeah, you aim the extinguisher at the base of the fire. Did I jump the slides really? I think so. No. Oh, and then the next one, squeeze. Squeeze the lever above the handle. Yeah. This discharges the extinguisher agent. Yeah, remember there's an agent inside the extinguisher. So you have to squeeze. If you do not squeeze after pulling and also after aiming, if you do not aim, you will not be doing anything. It's as good as wastage, all right? So squeeze the lever above the handle. This discharges the extinguishing agent. Releasing the lever will stop the discharge. When you release the lever, there will be no discharge. It will stop. It's like a switch, yeah? There are some other extinguishers that have a button instead of a lever. So it depends with your manufacturer. Sweep from side to side, moving carefully towards the fire, all right? If the fire is not on its incipient stages, please do not dare go close to the fire. So you need to move carefully towards the fire. Keep the extinguisher aimed at the base of the fire and sweep back and forth. Yeah, back and forth is from like left to right, back and forth, left to right, right to left, until the flames appear to be out. watch the fire area. If the fire reignites, repeat the process. Should you fight fire? That's a good question. Before you consider fighting a fire, please call your fire brigade first. As soon as you identify there is a fire first, and you're in a safe position and you've identified an exit, please call the fire brigade of your local area that I'm going to share in the group. All the fire brigade numbers for the whole count, all the 48 counties, I'm going to share. After you've called, make sure the building is being evacuated, all right? You find yourself, you're brave, though for this particular lesson, it doesn't, this is a disclaimer. This lesson does not give you the rights to actually go out there and extinguish. This is just for your knowledge, all right? I have to come out there and train you specifically on that, yeah? Determine whether the fire is small, and if it is not, and it is not spreading, yeah? Make sure that the fire is small and it is not spreading. Confirm you have a safe path of an exit, not threatened by the fire. And also know how to use the fire extinguisher. Never fight a fire, even if one of the following is true. And what is true? The fire is spreading beyond the immediate area in which it started, or is already a large fire. Listen, large fires, forget, all right? Just evacuate, leave everything behind. Your safety comes first, all right? The fire could block your escape route. You see, when you're fighting the fire, please make sure that you can run away if the fire is too large for you, all right? You are unsure of the proper operation of the fire extinguisher. If you're not sure, please don't be a hero, all right? If you want to be a hero, go try it elsewhere, but not using the fire extinguisher. It can really, really get to hurt you. You doubt that the extinguisher you are holding is designed for the type of fire at hand or is large enough to fight the fire. If you doubt that the content in the fire extinguisher cannot extinguish the fire, please leave the fire to continue. But remember, you've already called the fire brigade, so they'll come and handle it for you, all right? Grease cooking fires. These are cooking oil fires. What about them? It's a caution. Some extinguishers can blow burning grease out of container, yeah? Smoother grease fires in the container pan. What does smoother mean? Or smoother, depending on the English. Smoother fires in the container pan. That means you take a lid, yeah? You take a lid, the lid of the sufuria, and then you cover it at the top, all right? If the oil is on fire, you cover it on top. That's smootering. Remember the triangle. Over here, you are eliminating the what? You are eliminating the oxygen. Yeah, so the oxygen will be out and the fire will be contained. Do not attempt to carry burning pan out of the building. You see, when you carry a burning pan out of the building, it will spill on your clothes, and your clothes is actually fuel, and you'll start burning. Do not use water on grease fires. You remember what I told you? When you use water on grease fire, it will convert itself into steam and it will blow out of proportion, and the whole kitchen or the whole house will be on fire. Resist temptation to use extinguisher on a person on fire. Smoother clothing on fire. It's not advisable to use the extinguisher on a person. If you have an option, the best option is for the person to stop, drop, and roll. Yeah, he stops running, he drops on the ground, covers his face, and then rolls. And if it's possible, he can roll as you get to, with a cloth, but not really hit him, but just to smoother the clothing that is on fire. The key thing that you need to know is this. You have to know, always keep yourself between fire and the exit. Yeah, always know where your exit is at. When you're fighting fire, know where your escape route is. Yeah, so you need to be facing, your back needs to face your escape route. Let me go to the next slide. Now you've seen how it's done. That person has, the fire was too big, he ran away. Yeah. So the use of portable fire extinguishers, I just have some 15 minutes. I hope I will be able to cover that. Oh, that was actually the end. I'm so sorry. That is the end. And thank you very much for joining us. That was just a brief overview of how the fire extinguishers operate and how best we should get to use them. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you could actually please get to ask me, and then I will do my best to answer.
Yeah, thank you so much. Huh?
You're welcome.
I really appreciate the good training. For sure, I've learned a lot. I've written so much here that I didn't know, and I need to do for that.
You're welcome.
The only challenge that I have, I've not got a new well. There was an issue with the audio.
Okay.
When you are talking about something, the last bit on grease fires, grease from cooking fires, I didn't hear anything because there was an issue with the audio.
Sorry about that. Yes. About grease fires, I was mentioning to say that we should not use water on grease fires. Reason being is that water as an agent will actually, water and oil don't mix. And if it mixes, it will actually explode, and water makes the oil convert its particular model, and it gets into the model of being into gaseous state, like in steam. So I was saying you need to use an extinguisher like carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will actually get to kill the oxygen within there. And also the beautiful thing with carbon dioxide on grease fire, that is oil fires, if you're cooking, you can continue eating your food, all right? You could also use powder, but then I don't advise powder, because you can imagine when you use powder on your food, that's it for your food. You will never eat it, yeah? But for carbon dioxide, you just open the window and it's just normal carbon dioxide. Whatever, like right now we are breathing out carbon dioxide. It's the same agent that is compressed inside the extinguisher that you use on the grease fires. Yes, sir.
All right. Something else that I wanted you to clarify.
Yes, please.
Is about you spoke about fire extinguishers having limits.
And I will explain. You see, fire extinguishers have a, what do we call this? There is compressed agent inside a container. Yeah, and you find that in that container, we have maybe 9 kilos, 5 kilos, and so forth and so on. And that is actually what it means by a limit. And to support that, it means, for example, the limit means if it is 9 kilos, you just have 8 seconds to 10 seconds for you to get to use the extinguisher. And also it is used on baby fires or incipient fires, the fires that are just started. Yes.
Okay. Now, maybe the last question. Huh?
Yes, please, sir.
The last question that I need to seek your clarification. Are there cost implications for calling firefighters?
No, there's no cost implication, and that is a very, very good question. People think that when you call a firefighter, you will be charged. It is free of charge. When you call a county fire brigade, they will come for free. Yeah, and how the other question that people ask is, so who pays them? It's actually the taxpayer actually who pays the firefighter.
For that?
Yes, thank you. It is the taxpayer. You pay it indirectly through the land rates, through the other rates that are in place. When you, for example, you have a building, a business, if you notice on your building, on your business, there's that fire extinguisher license. Yeah. So that license, it's quote unquote kind of like an insurance. Yeah. So you actually help or you fund the firefighters responding to a fire to a particular place. Yeah. So this is the taxpayers actually who get to pay for these services.
Thank you so much. I've understood.
You're most welcome, Gideon. I truly appreciate, and thank you for joining in the class, and also for giving me and sacrificing your 1 hour time. Yeah. So I will upload the. Sorry.
So I'm saying I'm the one who has learned a lot, and I truly appreciate. Don't forget to share the numbers used.
Yes, please. I will share the numbers in our WhatsApp group, and then from there we shall see a way forward. And also I will upload this video to our YouTube channel, that is the Africa Fire Mission YouTube channel, for us to be able to view later on. Thank you very much, everyone, and I wish you a good day.